Your ball. Christmas Eve, Durmstrang Sweets. Hey Harry, hurry up, the ball's gonna start in 10 minutes. I'm about ready, Devon. Merlin, give me a minute. Harry finished adjusting the front of his new robes and took a quick look in the mirror. Everything looked good. His hair was clean and combed back, styled in a low ponytail, his glasses were on perfectly, and his robes were perfect. Everything was in place, and Victor would be wearing his red robe set. Newly made and sent special order by his mother. Minutes up, let's go. Nikolai and Gerard were both wearing robes as well, with the Durmstrang crest woven on the front, but Nick was dressed in gold and black while Gerard wore red and gold. Oh, easy you. They pulled him out into the hallway where Victor was waiting, and damn, he looked good. All right guys, I can take it from here. Your dates are likely waiting for you. Oh yeah, see you the mates. Both boys took off with the rest of the hall, and Victor took Harry by the arm. Let's be off, shall we, and we will get our dance. Harry gave him a quick kiss on the cheek. Oh yes, we shall. The green-eyed wizard wiggled his eyebrows and Victor just laughed. The other champions had already gathered with their dates. Fleur was with Roger Davis, Cedric with a Ravenclaw Cho Chang who was Harry's age, and of course Harry and Victor spotted Janine and Chloe waiting for them. Both girls looked beautiful. Chloe had on a long silk purple corset gown that sparkled and flowed down to her feet. Her hair was tied up in a bun with 1-2 curls on either side of her forehead. Janine was similar, but her dress was more lilac and satin with silver flowers at the bottom of the skirt, and her hair was curled and pulled half up and half down. Their makeup was perfect too, though Harry thought they were lovely without it. You ladies are the loveliest tonight. Harry kissed Chloe's hand. Thank you, and you two are the most dashing. Janine giggled as Victor kissed her hand. Oh, you are. Harry turned around to see McGonagall coming their way. All right, Mr. Crumb, you and Miss Beaufort must line up behind the others, and you Mr. Priet. Well, you can get behind them seeing as you are still technically a champion. All right, we're the first to dance. Come then, ladies. They lined up behind the others, and as they entered the great hall Harry heard the music playing. He spotted Ron Weasley glaring his way with Hermione Granger. They must have come together, and Harry couldn't deny Hermione looked nice in her pink dress with her bushy hair pulled back. Her evil look towards him made her look nasty though, and Ron's glare was a perfect match, especially for those old lacy robes he had on. He spotted Ginny too. She was standing with Neville, but he looked more annoyed to be there with her than she was with him. He felt sorry for the poor guy. Now we begin. The champions took their places in the large circle of people, boys taking the girls by their waists, and once the music started the dancing began. Thank goodness Harry and Victor practiced with each other, but Harry was careful with Chloe. Victor and Janine were fine too. Both boys danced gracefully with their dates, and the others were doing well. People began joining in, and as the dance slowed a bit Harry spotted Charlotte dancing with someone. A guy he didn't recognize, but she seemed alright. Charlotte was wearing a long silver sparkling dress with matching hair accessories, and her long red hair was pulled up in a bun with a few loose curls around her head. She looked like moonlight shining from the sky. Harry had to admit she was lovely this evening more than usual. You're a great dancer, Harry. Chloe laughed. As are you. I feel like I'm dancing on water. She laughed. I think the expression is walking on water, or dancing on clouds. Hey, either one sounds good. He twirled her. Hey Doc, do you recognize that guy with my mum? Chloe got a quick look. No Dot, oh wait Dot, no I don't, but he's handsome. The man was tall and built. He had a square face and dark hair, but based on the interaction between him and Charlotte they didn't seem close, but friendly. I'll ask later. The dance is about done. They agreed to break after the first dance, and then later on when the romance began Harry would take Victor and Janine would take Chloe. Oh. Chloe gasped. What is it? Harry saw her glancing at a table. A man was watching them. My dad's here. The song soon stopped and Harry helped her move to the side. It's all right, look, we'll fix things here just. Before he could finish, Chloe's father began walking their way. Chloe, I see you found the date. And Harry Potter at that. It's actually Harrison Pruitt, sir. The man smiled at him. So you landed a good one. I knew it was only a matter of time. He smirked. Yes, Mr. Burns, do you mind if we talk? Burns just nodded and Harry managed to get them in a spot away from the crowd. Mr. Burns, do you want your daughter to be happy? What kind of question is that? The man looked offended. It's just a question, sir. Do you want her to be happy? Of course I do, she's my daughter, my only child. He stared Harry down. Then why are you looking at her like she's an object ready for trade? That had some offense. Something about the man just aggravated Harry. Daddy. Chloe started but stopped when he gave a slight glare. I don't mean to cause any problems, sir. I'm only trying to help Chloe out. He ignored the sentence. If you want a future with my daughter, then you'd best learn some manners, young man. Harry rolled his eyes. Was this guy clueless? Sir, there is nothing going on between me and Chloe. I'm in a relationship with someone else. Then why are you dancing? His eyes turned over to Victor and Janine, coming over to them. Wait. That story in the Prophet. He looked back at Harry. You're a. Harry is my date, Daddy, but he's not my boyfriend. Chloe looked to Janine and she let go of Harry's hand to take hers. I asked him to come because you. She didn't finish the sentence. You. Still in this phase, are you? His eyes hardened slightly. Daddy, it's not a phase. She raised her voice a little. Don't take that tone with me, young lady. You need to end this phase now and find a decent boy. A good marriage with one will give you a family. The girl sighed, annoyance and anger mixed together. Daddy, you don't understand. I really like girls, not boys. I like Janine a lot, and she likes me. We've been going out for a while now, and we're ready to take the next step. Mr. Burns looked ready to argue further. Mr. Burns, I understand you want the best for your daughter. Every parent does. You see that she's happy with Janine, so why are you trying to control her love life? Harry stared the man back. He could tell the guy had good intentions, but he was blind to his daughter's wishes. I am not trying to control her, I am only looking out for her. He looked to Chloe. I just want her happy. Daddy, I am happy with Janine, and she's happy with me. Mr. Burns looked between the two couples. And you know what? We're going to dance. Chloe let go of Harry's hand and took Janine back onto the dance floor. As are we, please excuse us. Victor took Harry by the arm and gently pulled him back into the crowd. People from all sides started staring, and a slow romantic song was beginning to play by the Weird Sisters. It started slow, and then it began to pick up. All right, Victor. Let's show them how it's done. Another song began to play. The beat picked up and the boys and girls all watched the two same-sex couples dance together. The girls started spinning each other and Janine lifted Chloe into the air, while Victor and Harry shuffled around before Victor flipped Harry over and they began again. To Charlotte. Charlotte was laughing and smiling so big her face began to ache from the stretch. She had not had any visions of tonight and she was glad for it, because the surprise of her adopted son dancing the night away with his love and his date, while Chloe Burns further watched in complete shock. Your boy's got some talent there, you weren't kidding. Charlotte's date, Brian Ellsworth, a co-worker and friend, had taken her to the ball, though a friend was all he was. Brian was married with a baby on the way, but his wife was ill at home and he had business in Britain, so he agreed to take her as a favor. He would be back in time to wake up on Christmas morning, that much he'd promised him. Yes, I'm so proud of him. Charlotte may not have had Harry for very long, but she loved and cared about him like he was her blood. She was giving him everything he deserved, and she saw to it this night would be magical for him. Even the crumbs were watching them, but neither seemed willing to break up the moment. "Charlotte, are you all right?" She looked at Brian. "I'm fine. Why?" "It's just you seem a little dazed, longing almost." Her cheeks tinted slightly red. "It's nothing. I guess I'm just a little reminded of how things should be. Things just get away sometimes, you know." I thought the same thing too, that is until I met Kate." Charlotte rolled her eyes. "Brian, please. It's just a fact, Charlotte. I mean, I hate you being alone most of the time, and after what happened before, I just wanna see you happy. After all you did for me." Charlotte put her hand up. "Don't mention it. Anyone can do the right thing and help a friend out. Besides, you earned that promotion on your own. I just made sure it came to you." She winked. "Yeah, well, everyone deserves to be happy somehow. What are your plans for Christmas tomorrow?" Charlotte smiled. "We'll be spending it here obviously, and of course Harry will have his family with him. They would be going to Sirius House later on tonight, but only after the ball was at a near end. Sirius and Remus were dancing together near Harry and Victor, and Charlotte could only smile. "Hey!" Charlotte's mouth twitched when she heard a familiar voice. She turned around to see Ginevra and Ronald, both looking mad but keeping straight faces. "Hello, what's got you two in such a mood?" As if she didn't know already. "Nice dress. How much did it cost?" Ginny was envious, but the green skin seemed to fade just the other day, though there was a slight tint there still. "It's an old dress. I bought it 3 years ago and I didn't spend a lot on it either." Ginny had on a light pink dress, with some green around the skirt. Ronald had on some old garnet lacy robes, very old ones from the looks of them. "Who's the stiff?" Ron looked at Brian. "A friend, Brian. These are my youngest cousins, Ronald and Ginevra Weasley." Brian eyed them slightly. "These are the two who've been giving you and Harry trouble?" "Them and a girl they hang with, over there." Charlotte pointed at Granger, talking with another student she didn't recognize, and she seemed rather ticked at Harry and Victor dancing together. "Nice date, yet he has a ring." Ginny saw Brian's wedding ring. "I am here as a friend. Nothing says you can't have fun with married people. To an extent at least." Brian laughed. "Happily married at that. Besides, Charlotte was the one who set me up with my wife." Charlotte smiled. "You two are already a good match." "Disgusting." Ron was looking at Harry and Victor, watching the crowd stare in awe and amazement despite the few glances of contempt. "Leave it be, Ronald. Harry's love life is not your concern." This was really starting to get old. "I don't care if he has a love life, he could at least be discreet about it." "I could say the same to you." Charlotte glared slightly. "I'm sorry, Brian." "Don't be, say your piece, Charlotte." "All right, Ronald, you have no right to judge Harry after all he did for you. He saved your life, Granger's life, and even little Ginny's." "Stop calling me that," Ginny hissed. "You two shame yourselves. After all my son has done, you turned on him when he needed you. You know what, I don't even understand how good men like Charlie and Bill have such spoiled brats for siblings, or even the twins with you both. Fred and George at least can see the good in others, but you two judge based on stupid stories and fantasies. You're definitely Molly's brats, nothing but traitors crushing the hearts of those who look to you for help." "What do you?" Before Ginny could finish her question, Harry and Victor came over. "Mum, is everything okay?" Harry glared at Ron. "It's fine, Harry. Don't let these two ruin your evening." "Oh, I'm not. Excuse me, who are you?" He looked up at Brian. "Brian Ellsworth, a friend of Charlotte's and a married man." He showed Harry his ring. "Married? Oh, so?" Charlotte laughed. "We're not a couple, sweetie. Brian's just a good friend from France." "I'm glad to see your evening's gone so well." "It has." Harry leaned into Victor's arm. "Janine and Chloe are happy too." The girls were still dancing, and Chloe's further seemed to lighten his shock a little. Yes, well, don't worry too much about him, eh? Charlotte winked. Can't believe anyone's buying this garbage. Ron grumbled but was ignored. Hey Mum, when are we due to leave? In just 2 hours honey, but you two enjoy the rest of the evening all right? Oh we shall Lady Preet, I shall treat him like a prince. Victor kissed Harry's cheek and led him away. He's a good kid, you really got to him. Thanks Brian. You're welcome. Now Char I have to run. I'm sorry it's just late and Kate. She held her hand up. Don't worry, give her my regards and you two enjoy your Christmas. One quick peck on the cheek and Brian left. Charlotte took one last good look at the younger Weasleys. You two are a disgrace in my eyes, and just so you know. If the tables were turned Harry would have done everything he could to help you. Remember that. Have a nice Christmas. That being said Charlotte walked away, and she spotted Sirius and Remus at a table drinking. Hey there Charlotte, care to join us? Sure, I need a good drink. She took a glass of champagne and sipped it, but took ease. Glancing around the room Harry and Victor had left, but Snape was over in the corner watching the students. He seemed calm and cool, but something was definitely off with him. It can wait. Let's just enjoy the rest of the evening. Meanwhile, outside. Victor, this has been a wonderful night. Harry and Victor left the ballroom and found an empty bench near an alcove under the nightly sky. It has, Janine and Chloe are grateful to us both. I'm happy for them. Harry leaned on Victor's shoulder. I hope Mr. Burns gets it. He will, somehow he will. Victor kissed his head. Harry, did you see my parents inside? Yeah I did, and your dad. Well he seemed. He's still not fully accepting of this, but I think he's coming around. They sat together silently, and after a few minutes Harry finally spoke. Victor. I don't think I should tell you this because I'm afraid of what you'll say. But I don't want to keep it from you either. Victor pulled back slightly. What is it? Harry's cheeks blushed and he looked down. Harry? It's just. Well I feel like I love you. Victor seemed stunned, but not in the way Harry thought he would be. Love me? Yeah. You've been so good to me since I started Durmstrang. You helped me, you accepted me, and you've given me more reason to let go and move on from here. Victor's eyes softened. Harry, you have no idea how long I've waited for you to say that. Lips soon fell onto Harry's, and it made the younger wizard's eyes close. The kiss deepened and arms wrapped themselves around both boys. This continued on for a few minutes before they broke for air, and Harry's eyes were glossed over with happy tears. I love you. Victor held him close and kissed his ear. I love you too Harry, how's about one last dance? Yes. Despite the freezing cold and the snow lightly falling the night was perfect, and as the two waltzed around the courtyard neither could imagine anything more wonderful.
I'm glad you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more of this content or any type of video game content, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. And I also noticed 42% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you can, please subscribe to the channel. It will help it grow and help me a lot to make more videos for you guys. Until then, goodbye!